So DBD has some huge changes from the PTB, and in today's video, we're going to talk and take a look at all of them. Kings and queens, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. And as you can see on screen right now, Dead by Daylight have made some huge changes from the PTB to live. The first thing that we are looking at are the character portraits at the Legacy or Prestige 3 edition, if you have it before the account actually switches over. And as you can see, it looks a lot more better and intimidating than the gold that we had prior with all the sparkles, which is really nice. You see a black and red gradient as well as a shine effect going on, and we can see that there's a bunch of scratches in the background, kind of like the entity's mark, which is quite nice. We also see that the prestige icons themselves are a little bit different. Take a look in the top left-hand corner. You can see that it looks quite nice. It's different than what we had before, and it's not as bland. All of this is coming from a tweet that Dead by Daylight have made. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of the news and try to recap everything for you guys really quickly. So they said late last month, we revealed possibly the largest balance patch in Dead by Daylight's history, along with an overhaul to the progression system. We've kept an extra close eye on feedback since this update hits the PTP last week. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at all of the changes that they made from the PTP to live. So with progression, the first change they said they've made was increasing the Bloodpoint caps from 10,000 to 10,000 from 8,000. This means you'll earn 40,000 per match instead of the 32,000 per match that you normally were getting, which means you'll be getting more blood points per game, which in turn means you won't have to do as much grind. So this is really cool, and I'm happy about that. The second change, they said in a future update, we will revisit the rarity of the Bloodweb nodes after prestiging. Currently resetting to 1 also makes common quality nodes far more common. If your favorite add-on happens to be a rare or very rare, prestiging may be made collecting them more difficult. This change will make it easier to find a wider variety of add-ons of both lower and higher rarities, which is quite nice. They then carried on and said, beyond add-ons, you've also received some feedback of the cost of prestiging. In the PTB, it costs 50,000 blood points to prestige. While this may not sound like much, it can take several games to afford. We're reducing it to 20,000 to make progressing a little bit smoother. Alright, that's kind of nice. I like it. They said, speaking of blood points, the 1 million cap has long been a topic for discussion, and we felt that it was fitting to revisit. We are raising the cap to 2 million as expected. Bonus blood points from those with login rewards, promo codes, where player support will exceed this cap. So you finally have a 2 million blood point cap. This is huge. A lot of people have been asking for it for a very long time. So the cap is now 2 million and not a million. They said, finally, we've made a tweak to our catch-up mechanic, which awards you bonus prestige levels based on your progress to the overhaul going live. This was based on the number of perk tiers you've unlocked on the character while prestiging. In the PTP, we awarded 1 bonus prestige for each prestige your characters had to the PTP. For the full mid-chapter release, we have increased this to 2 bonus prestige level, which means if your character was prestige 3 before the update, they are guaranteed to be prestige 9 after the update, granting all the rewards immediately. The catch-up mechanic will be limited to prestige 9, however, if the calculated bonus would extend this, which is quite nice. So if you are prestige 3, you're already prestige 9. I'm looking forward to that because a lot of my characters are already prestige 3. Then there are some gameplay changes. They said that they updated 40 perks, and they're actually taking a look at all these perk changes as well. So let's jump on into it. Endurance. You guys may have seen my video of the tank build where we took pretty much 1 million hits with endurance. So they said, while this is technically working as designed, avoiding multiple hits in a row is not something that we want to see. As a result, the endurance effect will no longer protect you from going down if you are already in the deep wound status effect. This effectively limits the number of hits you can avoid with endurance to 1. Beautiful. Endurance does not stack. I'm super happy about that. That was definitely something that needed to be changed, and it's a very simple change, so I'm happy about that. Although a lot of people are saying these things are already in the game and it wouldn't become meta, I agree with them, but it's still something that would have been super annoying to go against, and a lot of people would be more inclined to do it, especially with off the record. Then they went ahead and spoke about the perks and some of the perk changes that are going to be coming, new perks essentially that have been reworked, and what changes they're going to be making to them. So they said Spine Chill now activates when the killer has clear line of sight of you. After revealing its change, many voiced their concerns about how it would affect hard of hearing players who relied on Spine Chill as replacement for the Terror Radius. While we don't want accessibility to fall on perks, we also do not want to remove this aspect of the perk until we're able to implement more permanent solution. For release, we've added a visual indicator to Spine Chill's icon that displays the Terror Radius strength. Wow, so that's quite nice. In the future, we would like to revisit this and implement a permanent solution that does not require a perk. Only once this happens, a Terror Radius indicator will be removed from Spine Chill. So not too bad. Spine Chill will now let you know how strong the Terror Radius is. So if the killer is closer, it'll probably light up a little bit more or have like maybe like a red entity claw coming up or something. And when you're really close, it will go all crazy and berserk, which is quite nice. That is pretty cool. And I'm happy to hear that they are looking into that. Dead Hard is the next one. Interesting that they are looking at Dead Hard. I want to see what change they're going to make. They said Dead Hard now grants the endurance as effect when activated instead of causing you to dash. In the PTP, the duration of the effect was set to 1 second. This gave survivors a long window to dodge a hit when Dead Hard was used. For mid-chapter release, we're reducing this to 0.5, requiring more precise timing to use effectively. Balance aside, we've also seen feedback on Dead Hard's animation. The PTP version of Dead Hard uses a modified version of the original, but this isn't ideal. In a future update, we'll replace the animation with a refined version designed to match this effect. Beautiful. I mean, Dead Hard, we use it. We still got it to work, especially with killers like the Nurse, etc., that are kind of forced in a bubble to hit you at a specified time. So it's quite interesting. Dead Hard, you're still going to have to get on time. 0.5 seconds is definitely a lot harder to do than 1 second, so we'll see how that affects gameplay. And on top of that, I'd love to see the new animation that they're going to make. Off the Record is next, and Off the Record definitely needed some changes. They said Off the Record now grants endurance in addition to its current effects, and they said, as mentioned in an earlier post, the endurance effect will no longer protect you from damage if you have the Deep Wound Silence effect, making it very impractical to dodge subsequent hits. As the all endurance effects, the effect is cancelled prematurely if any action is performed conspicuously. So there we go. So they said the perk will now deactivate once the gates are powered. So that was a main concern as well that a lot of people had. I kind of skipped over that part, but it said Off the Record could give survivors a guarantee escape once the gates are powered. As a result, this perk will deactivate and remove its effects once the gates are powered, which is completely fine with me. I'm happy with that because that was realistically the only concern I had with the perk. Overcharge. Oh boy, I'm sad about it because I had a very nice video lined up for you. I'll still put it out because I think it still will be pretty good. But he said overcharge now causes the generator regression to gradually speed up after the damage to generator. In addition to its current effects on the PTP, it was set to go from 100 to 400 after 30 seconds. We found this a little extreme, especially when paired with Call of Brine, causing generators to quickly lose all their progress. This is practically unnoticeable. Sorry, with solo survivors. They said for the release, this will be toned down. The generator will start regressing at 75% and increase to 200 over 30 seconds. If you're curious, overcharge becomes faster than the default regression after only 12 seconds. Overcharge can still be combined with Call of Brine to offset the reduced speed, which is fine. You know, a nerf to that is still alright, and you know what? It still will be pretty much meta in my opinion. Botany Knowledge, as you know, increases your healing speed far more than before, but no longer provides medkit efficiency. While this change made the perk more appealing to healers out there, it is a little too powerful with medkits. To remedy this, Botany Knowledge will receive a 20% efficiency penalty to medkits. While this may sound minor, even a slight reduction of efficiency can cause medkits to run out of charges before you finish a heal. Distortion is next, and they said Distortion prevents your aura from being revealed to the killer and can now be recharged by staying inside the terror radius. As a small quality of life improvement, Distortion will now have an audio cue when a token is used. This will make the effects harder to miss, which is quite nice. Ooh. Iron Will. Let's see what they're doing with Iron Will. I am very curious about this. They said Iron Will now reduces your grunts of pain by 75% faster when making you silent and no longer works while exhausted. We've seen some feedback concerning the volume of certain survivors compared to others, causing this perk to be less effective on survivors with louder grunts of pain. In a future update, we'll be reviewing the volume levels of each survivor to ensure that each of them can make use of the perk. Fair. Inner focus was changed on the PTB, but it was a receiving a small tweak from the time of release. Currently in focus allows you to see scratch marks of other survivors within 32 meters. We're removing the range requirement entirely, letting those with a keen eye spot distant scratch marks too. So quite nice. You can literally see it throughout the map. All right, so visual changes. Let's see some of the visual changes. Here we go. The perk charms look a lot nicer now. I love the gold little overlay and the gradient they have. They don't look as bland as they do. I'm very happy about that. There's a gold effect to them. As you can see, we have the purple gradient that goes kind of pinkish to darker purple in the bottom, and of course the perk, which is quite nice. Obviously you unlock these charms at Prestige 7, 8, and 9 for your unique characters, which I can dig. I like it. Next, obviously, as you've seen in the beginning, we have brand new images for the prestiges, which is very, very nice. It's not the gold with all the fireflies essentially popping up. It looks really good, and it's also behind the character and not in front of them, which is quite nice. Prestige icons, beautiful. They have been changed. You can see the milestone prestige icons look way nicer than they did before. You can also see there's a little bit of like a progression bar as you head up. Take a look. We got 30, 35, 80, and 100. Wow, 100 looks quite nice. I like the shapes that they decided to do for the other ones. We can see that there's a diamond, there's other shapes there, octagon, etc. But I wish they were a little bit different colors. I'm not gonna lie, because 55, 80 and like moving forward, I wish the colors were a little bit different. Maybe you could have spiced it up with blue or something, but if they're sticking with this theme, it's not too bad. But at the same time, you go from you know, your grand red at 25, and then when you hit 30, you're back to basically the same level as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 100. I do see that there's a little bit of sparkles in the back and a little bit of cracks going on, so not terrible. I won't complain about it too much. I am pretty happy about it. 100 looks really tasty though, and I would love to see that. And that's it. We are at the end of the developer update. They said that this is expected to release later this month, so probably next week is when you can expect this. But my friends, that is the developer update for July of 2022. Quite a lot of new things to come into the game, and obviously some balance changes that I'm quite excited for. We also see those beautiful, beautiful changes with the blood points, and you can get more blood points per game. You can save up more blood points, etc. So quite nice. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below. Subscribe for some more Dead by Daylight content, guys. We are trying to hit 150,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's 100% possible because over 70% of you guys that are watching this video are not subscribed. So please consider it down below. That's gonna do it for me, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. As always, I'm the King. I tip my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog. Take care, everyone.